Great evening, great evening, great evening.
Great evening.
Great
Yes,
evening,
sir.
everyone.
Welcome
How's
to
it
the.
going?
It's going good, brother. You know, we here another day, another
Yep.
show. Let's get it. So today, as you can see, we have here same group of guys, always coming on the show once a month, um, sharing sharing valuable information, reaching the community, and doing what we do best. So, welcome to the Dr. C Show, Life with Shenita. Also, so just a little bit about the show. Life with Shenita started with the ultimate goal to help people overcome a life's challenge and encourage them to live a vibrant life. So I know that's a powerful message. I know everybody. We make sure we start off with it every time so that you guys feel it. We're putting good energy out, and we're here to do what we do best. So I want to start off by introducing myself. My name is Lennox Francis. I'm a cybersecurity professional. I'm also a military veteran. So shout out to my veterans if you have any veterans in the crowd. And like I said, we're just me and my brothers are here. We share valuable information. We're involved in the community, involved in just bettering ourselves in general. And from that, I'll pass it on to my brother Jaquez.
No, I actually sometimes I forget that you served. Hey, brother, thank you for your service. Thank you for
I appreciate
your service. But I'm glad to be here. It's another episode, and we have a powerful message, powerful topic to engage everyone. But my name is Jaquez Baldwin. I am, I've been in the financial industry for about 3 years now, and I've really been helping individuals when it comes to financial education and implementation with a simple belief. If you change your finances, you change your world. And so that's what I'm dedicated to doing, and being able to share that message to my community. And so I'm grateful to be here and have this opportunity to speak. Like Linda said, with my brothers from the day ones, right? So, Brandon, what you got?
Hey, everybody. Appreciate the introduction, everyone. Thank y'all for being here, man. It's a blessing to be here. Big shout out to Dr. C, and Life with Shenita, and it's just an honor to be here. And so yeah, I'm Brandon Mercer. Civil engineering major here at FAMU. I'm about to graduate this year, but I'm just a hardworking young man. I consider myself like a young philosopher that just like to think, and I like to put my mind to work, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm in school, so I'm just completing up everything, and yeah, I'm working hard. So thank you everyone for being here today, and yeah, let's get to it. So it's Black History Month, guys. What's up, man?
Look, I
it.
want to say your background with being a black philosopher, a young black philosopher at that. I feel like it fit a persona. I like it. Man. I like it.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man.
We think you're in Colorado again. That's all.
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah, that's
I
what
know
it is.
but my brother Brandon just had a birthday, and we talk about celebrated it. We definitely celebrated it, and we went out to Colorado, and that was a cool experience. I think we're gonna get into that within the show. But you was mentioning about Black History Month, like you know this is that time of the year, and we are able to really have that conversation and bring up what's important, because where our roots are is important, and how we actually can utilize the information, the culture, the influence, the impact from our culture is important.
Definitely. So when it
Yeah.
comes to Black History Month, uh, or Black history in general, like what comes to your mind? What do you think of? What do you think of? Like what is Black history? What do you guys think Black history is? Just your own definition of what you think it is, or let's hear it.
So I'll dive in. So to me, Black history is just like um just paying homage and recognition to the divine of Black people, and just what our culture brings to society and the world in general. So because it's we come a long way in like history itself, like apart from Black history, but history itself is deep. And so just paying homage to your culture, and where you're from, I think. And then you got the people that stands out, and that made a difference in within that culture is essentially Black history is. So I appreciate the month. Like, in the month is my birthday. Shout out to Quez and Lennox for and everybody that came out to celebrate. So yeah, just a great month to celebrate Blackness.
Yeah. When we first had met Dr. C, we was with Jay, right? And we was at the Black Millionaire Experience. And when we walked in, right? We walked in, first thing we did, we went to the mirror, made sure our suits was on point.
Oh,
and then we walked in to the entire room, and it was nothing but what? Black excellence, right? Like, for one, a mentor is the one that's hosting it. And then when you go around to the different showcase rooms, you're seeing these different showcases with a bottle of wine in the middle, right? And it's like this wine is something that's been, showcased, and it's putting so much value on it for the simple aspect of the art that was around it. And so being there really made me realize, like, wow, we're around and we have access to some amazing leaders, and leaders that are really making sure that they can share their impact that they receive from our heritage. You know what I mean? And so I think Black history, to me, it's about realizing the abundance that we have now, the things that we have access to now, and the things that we're now able to live out based off what someone else, in other years were able to allow us to do. You know what I mean? And so, to me personally, that is what Black history is, for the simple fact that, man, look around us. Like, look at the things that we've been able to accomplish at our age. And as many times you guys have probably heard, man, you guys have been able to start at such a young age. Y'all able to do this and that. The reason why they say that, because they didn't get that chance to, but we have it.
Right, definitely. That's powerful, brother. I would say, like you mentioned earlier, roots, going to your roots. Like, before we were able to do what we're able to do now, somebody came before us, or a lot of important people came before us who paved the way, and they're still paving the way. And we still have people that are actually still doing the things that we're actually making new Black history with people with people that are doing what people are doing today. Just if we go to technology world, the finance world, the construction world, just anything you could think of. There's a lot of individuals who are Black, or Black people just doing their thing in their respective way, and it's just amazing to see. And so Black history is just something you can't forget. It's something you have to talk about. It needs to be talked about every year. It can be talked about on the daily, but specifically in February, this is a month that you definitely need to talk about Black history, and that's what that's what we're here to do today.
Yeah. Now, I know, recently we've been talking a lot of Linux, and I know you had some things in the works, but when it came to what you do, in your field, like, would you share, like, how have what you learned, just from Black history, or just studying your heritage, how has that impacted where you are right now and what you do?
So, as I mentioned, like, I'm a cybersecurity, which is technology. I'm a nerd. As you can see, I got my glasses on today, so I'm a real nerd. So, when you come to technology, you don't see a lot of people like us in our field. It's a lot of Hispanics, a lot of Asians, it's just different cultures that are not us. But as I've been, going along through my journey within this field, I've been doing research, trying to see has anybody from my color or my, race paved the way for people like me, for some people to actually get into the field. And I came across this guy called Ward L. Clay. They call him the godfather of Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley is in the Bay Area. And Silicon Valley, if you know technology world, it's full of technology companies, the top technology companies in the world. And they call him the godfather because he paved the way. He dealt with racism. He, of course, racism, because he was in the field within the 50s and the 60s. So he dealt with racism, but he even tried to apply to certain jobs, and they told him they didn't hire professional Negroes. When you hear that, it didn't stop him. So he came on to found a company called R&L Electronics, and eventually became, and that's when he gained his name from becoming the godfather of Silicon Valley. He even worked with Hewlett Packard. Hewlett Packard actually hired him to take over the software engineer and that type of role to help Black individuals as well. So he paved the way, and it's just been grateful to see because you have a lot of organizations now, especially in Atlanta, with Blacks in technology, Blacks in cybersecurity, women in cybersecurity, Blacks in tech. You see a lot of events, you see a lot of networking, you see a lot of collaboration with just all different types of Black people from different areas coming together to, spread that knowledge and just be the best they can be.
I would say definitely being called the guy. You said the Godfather. Was
Godfather.
that Godfather of Silicon Valley? Silicon Valley. If y'all don't, Silicon Valley, they don't really look like us. They look the opposite, right? Let's be honest. Like the majority, and that's when I think about Silicon Valley, I don't think about a Black person. So that says a lot about him. So that's definitely cool to learn, man.
Definitely.
So yeah, one thing I was thinking was when you mentioned about the Silicon Valley and the type of organization they created. I think about the Black Wall Street. What we have in Stonecrest, right?
Yeah.
Black Wall Street and the ability to where now you go into that into Black Wall Street and you're able to see these different marketplaces where now African Americans can really leverage what we do and now able to put it on a showcase to where it's all us in there, right? And I had a time to experience it myself. Have you guys ever checked it out?
Yeah, I actually went probably earlier this year. It was a good experience. I went with Mr. J again. He had showed it to me. We was at it's called Privy, literally right across the street at Stonecrest Mall, and it's another another Black man. I can't think of his name right now, but we had a meeting with him, and Stonecrest is in the works, and it's Black excellence that's building it up and making it a hub for like people in general in Atlanta, because it's a thing in Atlanta, like it's just so big and spread out that it's like, where is that one place for Black people to that we can call ours and be able to just showcase what we've done. So it's going to be an art museum there, and just a lot of cool stuff, a hotel, water park, everything's going to be there. So, and even our what we do, pedicabs will be there too. So it's going to be a good experience, shout out to that. But yeah, and just him in general, he's like a big inspiration to me because he's a engineer as well, and it's just him seeing him do stuff like that is just it's just segue into like he's making history as a Black man himself, because so that's why I just want to be like him, other people like that.
Yeah. Hey man, I think one of the exciting things about this conversation is about where we came from, but also where we're going, right? And the things that people that we are witnessing have already, accomplished. And I know, Lennox talk about technology and things of that nature, but when you think about Blacks being able to leverage the new age innovation, technology, these digital platforms, we got social media it's a new social media is its own world, right? And
Right.
people are able to monetize it, leverage it, and really scale their businesses, whatever it is they're doing. They're able to really create change. Utilizing these platforms. So, like, what have y'all, taken away, like, taken from people that are, really making change just by leveraging the new innovations that we've been able to create through people like, Linux that's actually able to have that knowledge and create some technology. But what y'all think about that?
I'll say, like, look at the people that, like how you said, is doing it now. Like you got 50 Cent that's like, and Floyd Mayweather, people like that that's showing Black people like it's possible when you got money like that to sustain it and keep leveraging, like you said, and just gaining more, just becoming more wealthy, and they're like an inspiration to the youth, us, and just seeing them make it, it gives us like idea, like, oh, okay, we can do it this way. So I think appreciating people like that, I would say, to answer your question, Quest.
For me, I'm going with EYL. earn your leisure. Like that's when I think of earn your leisure, we're talking about present day, right, Quiz? Like present day, what's going on now that's going, you know,
Right.
be for the future. Yeah, when you think of EYL, you think of just they influence everything for everybody. EYL is earn your leisure. They're a big, I guess you can say they're a brand, right? I would say they're a brand. So a huge brand that talks about financial literacy, mainly, but they also involve our culture. And as we all know, our culture is very special. It's not like anybody else, and they're able to just give knowledge, host events. I'm talking huge events. I'm talking 20,000 plus people events where everybody in the room is quiet. Everybody is gaining knowledge. And when your mama said, I better not hear a pin drop, you can hear a pin drop in the room because everybody's paying attention. Everybody wants to gain the knowledge because, like we said, our history, a lot of people didn't get a chance to experience what we're getting experience now. So everybody who's, really up to date and, well, I guess you can say woke in a way, they're wanting to gain the knowledge because they realize we have the opportunity that our people didn't have in the past. And it's crazy. So EYL is like, I'm going with EYL. And of course 50 Cent. I love 50 Cent, but I'm gonna go with EYL.
Look, we definitely got to hear your take on 50 Cent. But did y'all know that shout out to Rashad and Bilal with EYL. Y'all know that was on Good Morning America, I think last week, I believe. Did y'all know that? Yeah,
I'm not surprised. I didn't see it, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah, they've been definitely in the works with a lot of different networks and been on TV as far as the mainstream, because we know when we think about innovation and technology, man, YouTube is where it's at, right? Like a lot of people been really leveraging YouTube, and they do something called Market Mondays. And I'm definitely a fan of Market Mondays. Every Monday they analyze what's going on in the market, right? And they're able to actually, share with people some techniques on when it comes to how to be able to, when it comes to investing, right? And they are able to do that alongside in Dunlab. But y'all definitely got to check it out on your own when, people that are listening. But when it comes to things like YouTube, I know Brandon, I know you know some people that like probably, I don't know if it influenced you or you kind of taken away, like, hey, the fact that they've been able to leverage, things like YouTube and things like that. Like, I'm curious to hear, like, how have y'all seen African American leaders utilize technology and digital platforms to reach a larger audience, and create change through, technology?
Oh yeah. As soon as you mentioned that, I immediately thought of Marcus Bowers. We met him at the what was it at Clark, Atlanta.
Yeah,
man, I be watching him on Instagram, and he's still like, it's just every time I see him on Instagram, I just remember what he told us that day we was leaving as we was walking at that intersection, and we just had like a powerful like 4-minute conversation at an intersection waiting on the crosswalk. And all he was talking about is utilizing social media and what you got now. He was like, why would you not have your website have pop-ups and other things that link to your social media and anything else that you got going on, and just teaching us multiple streams of business, multiple streams of income, and having it all centralized and monetized in one area, and who's owning it? You. And you know what I'm saying? So that's what I encourage everybody to like check him out, Marcus Bowers. I think that's his Instagram, Marcus Bowers TV. But yeah, so yeah, he's just a great inspiration. And young black guy, another one that, it's just so many of us out here that's doing our own thing. And, we got to give kudos to ourselves for, where we at right now. We still young too, and we doing it in our own way. So I'll just say, like, just showing appreciation to everyone. That's what this conversation is about. So.
Absolutely.
And when you mentioned Marcus Bowers, his saying was, I finally got it. It was data over dollars.
There you go.
So data over dollars. When you
see how it come back like that.
yeah, crazy. And when you leveraging social media, like another thing, when you said that, people being able to outreach to different audiences, they have your data. When you have your data, you have people's phone number, when you have the email, when you have the Instagram, when you got all the social medias, you can reach them anyway, anyhow, anytime, any place. You don't got to fly nowhere. You don't got to ride a train nowhere. You don't got to ride a horse anywhere. like everything is there and it can be sent in a couple seconds, a couple minutes. You can set up a phone call, video phone call like we're doing now to just like build relationships, build community, just overall just reach a wide variety of people and just take it from one step at a time into eventually putting something on big, well, putting together something big in a big city. Like where we located, we're in Atlanta. Like Atlanta is the best city out there. Sorry to anybody who doesn't stand Atlanta, but Atlanta is the best city out there, and Black history is there.
Excellence, right? Let's be honest, right? We talked about some other cities that we intend on going to, and we think about, I think Baltimore or up in Maryland, things like that. I know they often comments and things like that, but let's be honest, like Atlanta has definitely been doing it big. And speak about that. When you say how have people leveraged, things like technology or digital platforms, and I know this is about Black History Month and we want to pay homage to our history, but we know where we came from, but also too, now that we've seen people being innovative, let's be honest, let's recognize them right now and kind of give them their flowers. Like people, let's be honest, like the people in our generation, we're looking at people that are on Instagram or these influencers. And when you think about like the comedians, I know for instance, like Drewski, he went to, he in Gwinnett, and then you got Nezzy Banks and you got DC on Fly. Like these people, Funny Marco, like these people really were able to just pick up a phone, grab a camera, and just give their gift to the world just by recording themselves. Now, right. Drewski, he's worth what? Almost $1 million, $1 to $5 million, just because he had the courage to just get in front of a camera and really do what we're doing right now. Right. You know what I mean? And I think that's something huge to take away.
Yeah, most definitely.
Definitely. But you can't. So when we talk about that, and we can relate it back to, previous years or on down the line, when you have TV shows, when you think of older TV shows or just like older videos, you got all type of TV shows, but they actually paved the way for us to actually do what we do now as well. Yeah. So shows like, I would say maybe Soul Train, you know what I mean? That's Black history, that's culture. Right. That's I don't know what it can actually translate to now. What show is related to Soul Train now? You don't really have a show, do you? That's related to Soul Train?
Not that I can think of. I'm pretty sure it's something.
Right, and then we can even take it back to maybe like Oprah and what I would say she started, mass media from our age point, into what 50 Cent is doing now. We got to go back to 50 Cent because what 50 Cent is doing now, having all these shows, top shows in the world. He comes from a whole different background, even though it's music, but like he's doing it big on another stage as well, and bringing on our actors, well, people like us, top actors that are Black, you know what I'm saying, that are still doing it big. And it's just, what more can you say? To me, that's Black history as well. It's just present day as well.
Yeah. But y'all see the parallel in it, right? Because you see, like, let's say, for instance, Oprah and her talk show. Then next thing you know, that type of talk show, it started evolving, right? You start having other people that have talk shows and things of that nature. But then eventually those talk shows start turning into podcasts, right? Now imagine how, think about all the, top people in podcasts right now that's doing it big. We just talked about Earn Your Leisure. We talk about 85 South and things like that. But they're now doing it big based off from that. It went from, mainstream media. So, okay, how can we now leverage, the more innovative things like that? But also you see how that's parallel when you think about, let's say, for instance, I know you think about YouTube and music, right? A lot of people were literally just putting out music videos here, but now they go to YouTube. And then you think about even Twitch and those new things that's starting to come out. Some, like, you can literally make millions from home just because now you're able to just give your gift from to a computer, compared to when we compare it to things that we just talked about in the past, the regular TV shows and things of that nature, right? Like, who are some people that y'all kind of witnessed or feel like has made an impact, in that type of arena?
Well, YouTube and music. You gotta pay homage to Soldier Boy and Young Boy.
Okay, talk to me. I was waiting on you to say it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was trying to get that out of you, but let me know.
Shoot, like yeah, those are like probably the two, like how you said, extreme, like the transition from Soldier Boy with Crank That and giving like dance videos to his songs that was catchy, and now you got people like Young Boy that's post music videos every day, and other rappers and entertainers that do a lot of great things. So just seeing them make their own version of history as well. So like that's just all part of the culture that we got to pay homage to, really. I would say, and then you can take it back to like Black History started way back in the 1800s. I know, like Lynn, he was talking about how he did his research, and like I also did research too. And it's like we can't really just talk about today's time to talk about Black history, because it started so long ago when our ancestors was doing what they had to do to get us to where we are. And like for me in my field, I already got a math degree, and it's like all throughout my education experience, I hear all of these equations and mathematical theories that you think like, oh wow, some of these people was Black too. Like I actually looked it up, and now I'm finding that like people like Benjamin Banneker that came up with the theory of the solar eclipse and stuff like that. It's just it's something to be proud of, and it's like they did it, we can still keep doing it and making it better. So I'll say that's just something to think about as well.
Absolutely.
Okay. And Quez mentioned Twitch. I know Twitch is, is live. And we have to give, I would say, credit to Kai Cenat. Like that's a big inspiration to the younger generation, but he's also creating the new history as we're talking about. Even though we have mass media from the old days, he's creating the new mass media for today's world. And it's like you can't really beat that. He's leveraging his YouTube space, his Twitch space, his social media space in general, and it's just he's thriving in it. He's won streamer three years in a row. So what can you say?
Yeah, and I want to bring this full perspective to everyone that's listening, right? Because I know we probably got different age groups that's maybe listening. It's like, man, who in the world is Casanat? Like, who in the world is this person and that? Right. I want to bring this full perspective, right? Because when you say we started off asking, what does Black history mean to you, right? Or what is that? I think when I think about that, we think about some of the historical leaders. We think about influence, right? And we think about the word influence. I think about that from historical leaders, but then when we hear that from a historical leader standpoint, we're like, okay, yeah, man, Martin Luther King had an amazing influence. Malcolm X had an amazing influence. Muhammad Ali had amazing influence. But then when we say influence, when we think about the present day leaders or the present day influencers on social media, things of that nature, then we kind of, correct me if I'm wrong, we kind of give it a negative connotation to it, don't we? Right? And it's like those people like Casanat or Soulja Boy, even Young Boy, like they are influenced as well, and they have a mass influence, right? So just to kind of give it full perspective, like I froze there, but to kind of give it full perspective to everyone that's listening, if we take it back to like Martin Luther King, right? March on Washington, right? The fact that he was able to get thousands and thousands of people out of their home, all colors. Let's be transparent about that. All colors, to be able to listen to what he had to say. That's real influence, and we all know that. But then also think about the fact that when Brandon say, "Hey, well, Soulja Boy was able to do this on YouTube," you know how many views this guy was getting, and then the things that he was doing. The reason why that's created a massive amount of influence because it's unheard of. And if you think of, these are some other people that we've watched. You say Casanat, man, he millions and millions of views. That's major influence, right? And so the influence that people have or that we have is amazing. And just to speak about the Black culture as a whole, when we speak, people want to listen. And I think that's a testament to who we are within our roots, within our culture, and where we came from. Just for the simple fact that we've seen the resemblance back then into how people are transitioning and to be innovative about that now.
Right. Definitely. It's like we all
there, Quest.
Definitely. That it just like you said, it all like we were saying in the beginning, it all come from the roots. It all started back in the old days, the days we weren't born, the days our grandparents were maybe just now being born. And it's just everything takes time, right? So everything was slowly coming together and everything's still coming together. And now we're seeing it within our day's age. And we'll continue to make history for our children, you know what I mean? And it's just gonna continue to go because whatever we have learned from the past, we're going to pass it down and so on and so on.
Yeah. And then I'm curious to know what y'all feel about in what ways have the leaders that we talked about, how have they collaborated with other Black leaders to really amplify the impact that they're giving on our society? Like, how have y'all seen that and witnessed that yourselves?
I would say for one, we gotta talk about Vice President Kamala Harris.
Right.
I'm saying right. Just what she was able to do, and just her being able to have an influence like how she did in the time that we are now, and also like Barack Obama, people like them that do it in a political sense, and with just making it that far, because it's not common for us as Black people to be able to do that. So I would say that yeah, I'll say her.
Yeah. Hey, Lynn,
I'm listening, bro.
It was August. We talked about EYL. We got to tell them like, hey, we went to Invest Fest. How many people was there, bro?
Too many.
20,000 plus, I would say.
It was like, I often say 25,000.
Yes.
Something like that.
20,000, man. These all majority, probably 90%, but African Americans, right? All in one place with the Georgia World Congress Center, right? Like I've been to, they had 3 so far, and they do it annually in Atlanta. They had the first one, I think it was about 7,000, I believe. The second one was like 14,000. The third one was 20,000. Like you say influence, impact, right? And I think about these 4 words, right? You think about Black history and you think about how people have been able to create that impact, whatever. You think about influence, impact, legacy, and leadership, right? When we went to Invest Fest, we said like 20,000 people. And we was able to see how they were able to collaborate. I wish we could show the picture when when we got into Invest Fest and we go to that wall, right? It was a big wall, and it was like 50 people of just straight Black excellence.
Right.
Man, like I want to hear from your experience. Or like, will you remember that? Like when we was in Invest Fest, we was there all weekend. We were socializing with a lot of Black leaders, but also the people that we were seeing on the floor was the most important. But we also saw some people on the stage like Robert Smith, a billionaire, right? We saw people like Steve Harvey. We saw a whole bunch of people. Then when you even get to the venue or the vendors, there's vendors that are like, Lennox, tell them, Brian, like that's when you say collaboration with other Black leaders to create impact, that was it.
Right. And like Quest said, it happened in Atlanta. A lot of EY, back to EY is just able to, their platform is able to, the platform that they have it's on YouTube. They have a show on Monday. So they're able to collect audience. They're able to collect the data to bring everyone together in one specific place. And it's full of Black excellence. As you mentioned, Steve Harvey, Robert Smith, the richest Black man in America, correct? Am I correct?
Right.
And like it's just amazing. Him also just being able to shine light on other parts of Black history, which would be HBCUs. Him paying tuition off. I want to say it was Morehouse College.
Oh yeah, he did.
And it's just like when you think about HBCUs, let's talk about HBCUs. We all went to HBCU, so we can all agree like the impact that HBCUs have. There's history with HBCUs when it comes to sports, when it comes to people who went to HBCUs. A lot of successful people came from HBCUs, and it's still Black excellence. It's Black history because it happened way before us. It happened in the whatever years it happened. It was way before us, and it's still trickling down today. There are still people that are successful coming out of HBCUs, and like, and back to the Vest Fest quiz. I don't really know if you can just. I don't know if there's a word to describe Invest Fest, but all I can say is Black excellence. Like it lets you know it's possible. It lets you know once you if we collaborate together, we can be so powerful. And I feel like that's a lot. That's gonna take a while, maybe like a while for us to actually collaborate or to come together. But when we do come together, we see how powerful it is.
Absolutely. And let me tell you one thing. One thing I learned from InvestFest was leverage, right? Because Land, when we end up seeing so many different people, and the people that we were speaking out, on the floor or whatnot. One thing that I got from every single person, and tell me if you received this or not, every single person that we spoke to was the fact that they had someone in their corner that have done what they did before, and they showed them the way. Right? We had Greg. I don't know you remember him, Brandon. We went to high school with Greg and Stick and Kenrick. We saw all them.
And I seen them out. I was out there too. I wasn't inside, but I was there.
And so, talk to me.
I said I was outside. We was working the bikes that day. I had seen them walk up, and I didn't see you guys. That's how many people was there. I didn't even get to see my brothers there, guys. But I was outside on the bikes, doing my hustle. People was out there showing love to us as well. So big shout out to Petty Cows Atlanta, and
Black home,
whatever, everything that we do.
Salute Petty Cow for sure. And my man Jay, we talk about mentorship. Like Dr. C said, mentorship. That's Jay right there. And when I tell you, like, we met so many people, and every time I'm having conversations, Greg is like, "Hey man, I'm doing mergers and acquisitions." I'm like, "Mergers and acquisition, that's big time." He's like, "Yeah, well, my mentor showed me how to do this and that." And then I talked to somebody else. They say, "Hey, well, I'm working on flipping homes, and I actually had a mentor that showed me how to do this and do that." And it's like every time we hearing somebody say, "Hey, it's a mentor that was behind all their success." And I think that even just shows the topic of this conversation. We got to go back to our roots first. Somebody else has already done it. When they say there's nothing really new around the sun, we just create new ways and kind of bring our knowledge together to innovate. But,
Yeah, and like so big on mentorship. That's just that's always been the way. You could take that back to Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X and just that whole era of just brotherhood and the brothership between them and their whole story. Like I was reading up on that today. Like I learned that they had a fallout at the end of like Muhammad Ali's career. I want to say. I mean, right before Malcolm had transition or whatever. So just understanding that part of their relationship, like they were still Black men in a time that was much worse than what it is now, like the 60s in America. Being a Black man in America at that time, it was just like you really had to be brave and to be able to stand on what you, like how we say standing on business today. That's what they was doing in their time. So it's like just people that mentorship relationship is really like paving the way. And now like people like Mr. J and the mentors that everyone has on their own. Dr. C is also a mentor. Let's not include Black women as well. I know we talk about a lot of Black men, but Black women do a lot for us. So it's like that's just what it is.
Yeah, definitely shout out to the women. actually being around or just networking with other Black people in general, I noticed that, like I said, shout out to the women. The women, they get a lot of things done. Like they're about their business, because at once upon a time they didn't have all the rights that they have now. You know what I mean? Like now they're taking full advantage, and it's great to see, because with as a Black man, you also want to have a Black woman, you know, that's very powerful, that's able to move in a certain way, who's able to accomplish things, who are able to have that knowledge of what she can really do and what she's really taking advantage of because her elders couldn't do so.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think that's a great point. And even you speak about Dr. C, like, just as we've been getting to know her more, I've been learning more about the things that she had her hands in, the things that the people that she have met, right? The fact that she's an author, the fact that that she's doing these different things that if we talk about generations before, they only could imagine, you know, doing these type of things, having your own platform to be able to speak and give other people a platform to leverage their voices. So, we talk about somebody that's powerful as a woman, that's doing her thing, like you say, getting things done. Like that's the magic word, is saying getting it done. She said, never ever be afraid to make some noise and get in trouble and get in good trouble, necessary trouble. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
So shout out to Dr. C, since Dr. C is doing her thing.
Yeah. So that's big. And we was talking about transition to HBCUs, right? And when you think about that, like you said, we all went to different HBCUs. I want to hear from Brandon, like, because I know, well, I'm here for all of us. Like when you think about one person that comes to mind, I think about Deion Sanders, right? I know all of us play sports, but we say influence, impact, legacy, leadership. Man, he embodied all four of those different things, right? And we talk about innovation and technology. Like personally, we seen how he can just blow up the things that he has going on by leveraging social media, right? Just blow up the fact that HBCU or Black people should start going to, as far as the high profile athletes, need to go to HBCUs. That was a moment in time, that was popular when he was at Jackson State, right? So we're like, what when y'all think about that, how has the branding and leveraging of HBCUs impacted where we are today?
Well, I mean, shoot, the HBCU I go to, I mean, I gotta pay respect to FAMU and the Rattlers. I appreciate everything that they've like I've been able to like get into since I've been here. I learned about NSBE, the National Society of Black Engineers, and it's basically like a society group that you could join. As you don't have to be Black, but essentially you would be Black, but it's just us as Black engineers becoming an engineer. It's just it's something major and something to be proud of. So I'm glad to be a part of that type of group. But yeah, HBCUs, what we do at our HBCU is just big for the culture. Again, like I really can't even say too much, but yeah, shout out to all the HBCUs out there.
By the way, NCAT is the number one HBCU. Just gonna put that out there. I know you've been at FAMU. I don't know if you know, but it's a little tension between FAMU and the NCAT. NCAT is number one. Just to remind you, brother, just to let you know.
And so I went to Alabama State.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to Alabama State, Alabama State. But when we talk about Deion, we talk about him leveraging social media. I just think about his marketing. Him and his son and his team's marketing is just like top tier. Which is just being able to bring recruits in, be able to show the world what it's really like in the Colorado, in the Jackson State locker room, in the Jackson State or the Colorado, atmosphere of like how things really go down. And his technique, his skill set with him being who he is, you would want to be where he is, because it's just like, it's Deion. Who won't want to go where Deion is? and he's making history because 20 years, 30 years down the line, when he's not coaching anymore, people are still going to be able to see this footage because it's still on YouTube, it's still out there, it's still an influence, it's still making an impact on individuals who play at the highest level in general. And it's going to be amazing, man, because prime time, that's all I can say. The prime time effect. And we actually recently went to Colorado, as we mentioned, for Brandon's birthday, and we took a trip to University of Colorado at Buffalo, and it was amazing. Beautiful snow, beautiful campus, and just like a relaxing time there. And all I can say is prime time effect. Prime time.
Prime time effect. Prime time effect got us taking the picture in front of the, like, he was there. He only been there a year. We already a fan of Colorado, a Boulder.
Yeah, look, there we go.
Look at
it. Beautiful campus.
That trip was real amazing, man. And y'all remember when we got there, how we had said that people was just looking at us crazy, like, what are they here taking a picture for? Like, hey, we here for Dion, It was real fun taking that picture. But the snow in Colorado and just being in those mountains, I couldn't wish anywhere else to take my 24th birthday. That was amazing.
So question for you, brothers. So we talked about being innovative. We talked about making an impact. We're talking about marketing, just anything that deals with having influence or influence in general. I'm curious to know, how are you being innovative and making history, like, in your own right? What are you doing to make history to pass down to your grandsons, your grandkids, your kids, my nieces and nephews? You know what I mean? Like, what are you guys up to?
I could dive in on that one. I would say I'm getting into a lot of things right now. Starting my first business. I actually got 2 businesses, but I'm really working with one, but I'm trying to get things set in place, still being in school, understanding my way as like a full-time student, and then just setting out my career plan pretty much as far as like what I'm leaving for my legacy. I don't know if kids and kings is gonna be, that might change, but right now, I'm focused on something totally different just for myself. So just making that and like building legacy for myself right now is just where I'm at. So, and that includes just making every career goal that I set, just being successful in my own way, me as a person and what I contribute to society. Because, that's what I think, just what makes you whole as a person. We all got our different input on that. But yeah, your contributions to society, that's why a lot of the reason I took the civil engineer route, building cities and, just working with people, building relationships. That's where I'm headed. So I'll say that's my number one.
Yeah, but you building cities, Brandon, is like, it's not small, bro. That's pretty big. You building cities for other people to ride on, other people to see, other people to travel to. Like, that's major, bro. Like, maybe that's a part of your legacy, building different cities that maybe can be the new Atlanta. You never know, bro.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I was just talking about. That's crazy. I was just having a conversation, not even an hour before this podcast started, with one of my classmates here. We was just talking about he want to start his own schools, and we're gonna get him on here. Shout out to him. I don't know if he's out there in the crowd, but they should be out there in the crowd. My 2 boys. So we'll have them on soon. I'm keeping them top secret though. I'm not gonna name drop yet, but yeah, man, we got big things coming up. So that's why, you're right. We building our own legacy.
Yes, sir.
So with you, Quest.
Yeah, for one, I think I remember when we was in Colorado, we was on a plane. You had showed us that book, right? And then you was, talking about the book and how, there was like landmark locations that people have created. And I just want to, speak about that. Like the fact that you are really, indulge into your craft. And like we say, it's about where we came from. You was looking into those different things, learn about it. And I think that was a cool thing to see, right? And it kind of brought more to my attention that like, you really about your business and what you're doing. And so I want to say, hey, kudos to you, brother. And for me personally, I remember when we had we was in middle school together, right? And I remember in Miss Short's class. I know y'all remember Miss Short's. In Miss Short's class, one time, she used to ask us, we used to have those conversations about, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? Right? You want to be a lawyer, you want to be a doctor, you want to be a police officer, firefighter. I remember having those conversations. Let's be honest, we was a smart group of kids. And I used to think about, like, I used to get frustrated, honestly, because I could never think about what it is that I wanted to be. Because all those things, all those generic answers, I just did not want to do. Engineer, like I just didn't want to do. But then as I started getting older, I realized I wanted to get into entrepreneurship. I ended up going to NCAT, and we talk about HBCUs. When I get to NCAT, man, when I'm talking about Black excellence, everywhere I turn, there's somebody that's doing great things. There's somebody doing this business, that's doing this, and I'm talking about actually succeeding and being successful in it. And that just brought that fire out of me even more. And that brought that hunger out of me to say that, hey, I have to go out and make a change and actually do things for myself and my family and my community. And that's where I was in entrepreneurship. And I probably shared this before. I had a marketing agency freshman year in college, and next thing you know, I got into the financial industry, right? And when I got into the financial industry, I realized how much it was needed, from the simple fact that many people aren't educated on the simple things that we need to know. When we think about, just Brandon talk about, thinking and being a philosopher, just learning how to think, but also learning how to deal with money. Those are two things we really don't get out of school, right? I didn't get that through K through 12. I didn't get that through college. But once I realized that, okay, now I was able to become part of a startup firm with the World Changers. And now I'm able to be a part of the solution instead of the problem. And with the World Changers, when you say, okay, how have you been able to make personal history? They have put me in a position, and I realized when I had my marketing agency, I was missing two things. I was missing a system, and I was missing leadership or mentorship, right? And so when I got with the World Changers, I was like, okay, let me put my pride aside and build my own business, and I can be able to do this here with a system, but also leadership. And what I've got out of that, we started a startup firm back in May of last year, and in Orlando or in Fort Lauderdale in January. We had a big event all weekend, and at the end of the event, we had a gala on a yacht, right? And so with the gala, they was giving out awards, and I was gracious enough, and they said that, hey, I was gracious enough to be able to be get the first director promotion in World Changers history, right? And so that right there has really been able to, it feels, it's an amazing accomplishment, but it just feels great to be able to realize that I have a team, I have something that I can really cater and be indulgent in myself, like you guys are when it comes to cybersecurity and also what you do as well, Brandon. I think that is something that has really been able to be profound in my life and what I'm passionate in and what I'm taking advantage of.
Okay, brother. Yeah, congrats on the promotion. That's big time. Yeah, when you told me that, I'm thinking director. Like, Quiz, we only 23, 24, but you a director. Like, that's big. So, I mean, kudos to you, my brother. And kudos to you, Brandon. Like, we got to keep doing what we're doing, man. But for me, history, I'm making history as far as, for me, growing up, of course, I wanted to be a professional athlete, whether it was baseball, football. But as I got older, I wanted to be an entrepreneur as well. But as I'm getting older, I realized that in order to be successful, I don't have to be a athlete. I don't have to be a rapper. I don't have to be, what society pushes out to be, or saying that you can only be to be successful. Now, cybersecurity, I'm building a skill set that nobody can take away from me, a skill set that is constantly growing, that's going to continually evolve, and that I'm always going to have forever. I can teach it to younger kids to let them know, like, you don't have to be an athlete, you don't have to be a rapper, you don't have to be so and so to make good money. You know what I mean? Like, and you can be successful. You can have your own business doing what you want to do. As we all preach entrepreneurship, is, we can say lovely, but there's also ugly times as well. But it's nothing that nothing that we can't handle because we're resilient. You know what I mean? So it's also just being able to show my peers, show my family, especially my brothers and sisters. I always mention them, that it's actually possible. Like that's my goal, to tell people that it's actually possible. No matter what you face, as long as you keep going, like, you can achieve it, you know. But of course you have to put in the work. Nothing works without work. And relationships is everything. I preach that all the time, because relationships is everything, or are everything. Like, without relationships, you won't get very far. But with relationships, you'll be in rooms that you would never thought you would be in. And I've been blessed to be able to do so just by having certain relationships. And the goal is just to continue to let people know that it's possible, to continue to show them that they can do it. We're all Black, you know what I'm saying? Like, of course it's not going to be as easy as, you know, others, but we can do it. Like, it's possible. Like, that's my biggest goal, to make history and just letting people know that it's possible. So impact, evolve, and just show everyone that it's doable.
Yeah. No, you mentioned something really great. You said being able to have that level of resiliency, and if you see it, then it's possible, right? And I think that they say if you can go as far as you see, and then once you get there, you will always be able to go further, right? And I think that what we're doing, being able to have a voice, to be able to share, okay, the success that we're having in our own right, being able to speak with other mentors or other people that we know are doing things that are great, that allows us to be able to see more. And I think we started that from the very first time we got on the podcast. We was like, hey, we really have an amazing community, and that's what allowed us brothers to be who we are right now. And so I think that if you guys get anything from listening to this today, is that surround yourself with the right people, right? And I think that we're a testament to what that can do for you.
Most definitely.
Yeah. I want to say thank you to Dr. C, man. I would definitely say thank you to Dr. C for this opportunity. And we have so the fourth Thursday of each month, that is where we hopping on, and we're definitely want to share some of my experiences of us, out and been able to do the things that we do. But also, you can join Dr. C, and as she hop back on within I believe next week of the third Thursday of the month.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, every third Thursday.
Yeah, this is great, man. This is great. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling?
Man, I feel good, man. Shout out to the audience and everybody that tuned in. Appreciate everybody. I seen my mom out there, King Jael, for sure, man. I appreciate everyone out there that's really tuned in and that just listen to what we saying, our conversation, and if you want to be a part, feel inclined to reach out, and we it's no limit to what we do. So it's just like what we do. So just want to remind everybody, just pay homage. It's the end of the month, but pay homage to your Black people that's making history. So that means pay homage to yourself.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Definitely. Yeah, I just want to most definitely I appreciate everybody as we come on here. Like we said, the fourth Thursday of the month, and just give our perspective, talk about our experiences and how we feel we can help others as well, and just share our knowledge. And like Brandon said, we're open to anybody coming on the show. You know what I'm saying? We're just Black men, trying to spread the love, spread the positivity, and just be a best version of ourselves. So I appreciate everybody coming out, and thank you.
Thank you. Hey,
Good night.
You know, okay, never mind. I thought it was out. I thought we was out. It was great. See y'all later.
All right, brother.